Former Social Development Minister Bathabile Dlamini holds the dubious honour of being the first ANC leader to be convicted of perjury. The Johannesburg Magistrate Court said the ANC Women's League leader knowingly and intentionally deposed of false evidence. This relates to her testimony before the Constitutional Court ordered inquiry into the social grants crisis. What a precedent, if any, does the ruling set? Let's talk more about this particular matter with Expert Ulrich Roux. Ulrich, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Firstly, what did you make of that guilty judgment yesterday?
Hi, good afternoon. Yes, I think it was as expected. I think the testimony led by Bathabile Dlamini during that trial indicated that she was not a reliable witness, that she had fabricated her evidence, and that she had deposed to an affidavit under oath that was in fact not the truth. Now, just to elaborate more on that, and for the viewers out there, the crime of perjury does not carry a minimum sentence. In other words, it does not fall within the Minimum Sentences Act. But all the following circumstances will be taken into account, and that is the severity of the offence committed by her and for which she has been convicted, then her personal circumstances, and then the message that is sent out to society by the sentencing. Now, when she committed this crime, she was in a high-ranking government position. She was supposed to be setting an example to members of our community and members of our society, but yet she was found to be guilty of having deposed to an affidavit under oath whilst lying and committing perjury. So I think it is a shameful act that she's been convicted of. She should have been setting the example, and it has been proven beyond a reasonable doubt that she was not, and that she was in fact lying under oath.
You know, listening to the arguments yesterday in mitigation of sentencing, her legal counsel went on to say or take exception to the fact that it was raised that she was in fact a public figure that would be sentenced. As you say, we need to take such into consideration, her status at the time. But he went on to say, no, you will not be sentencing a public figure here. You'll be sentencing a pensioner, which took many aback. What did you make of that?
I think it was a bit of a cheap shot, to be honest. At the time that she committed the crime, she was a public official and she was in a high-ranking government position. So that is what the court needs to take into consideration. But as I said before, our case law, which guides our courts when sentencing, is the old case of State versus Zim, and it's known as the triad of Zim. And as I said earlier, it is the personal circumstance of the accused, the severity of the offence, and then the message that is sent out to society. Now, her personal circumstances are that she is, at present, she is a pensioner, and she has got dependents who are reliant upon her. And should she be sentenced to imprisonment, then those dependents would indirectly suffer as a result of their mother not being able to maintain them any longer. The counter-argument to that is, of course, that she should have thought about that before she committed the crime, and she should have thought of what the results and the consequences would be when she commits such a crime and when she is convicted of such a crime. So it is a difficult decision that the court is going to have to make at the end of the day. The case law states clearly that the court must also take those three factors into consideration and blend it with a measure of mercy. So our judicial system and our criminal justice system is focused on rehabilitating a person rather than, sentencing them and condemning them for the rest of their life. But also, retribution must also play a big part. And in this instance, in my view, it is a severe offence. She, as I said before, she should have been setting the example. Yet she was lying under oath, and the SASSA scandal left many people who were entitled to social grants without any money and without any funds to take care of themselves. And she was found to have been lying in this commission. So certainly a very shameful conviction, in my opinion.
Ulrich, always a pleasure talking to you. That was legal expert Ulrich Roux just giving us his insight following that judgment yesterday of perjury against Bathabile Dlamini.